Arabia's coral reefs are home to some of nature's most impressive illusionists. Animals that can transform themselves, often in the blink of an eye. The most flamboyant pulsate with color and engage in enthralling displays of showmanship. Camouflage helps others to become almost invisible. Elaborate disguises and clever distractions can favor the bold. These are Arabia's magicians of the reef. It's late May in the Gulf of Oman. Temperatures are rising as summer approaches. The Gulf is situated off the east coast of the Arabian Peninsula. It borders the coasts of Oman, United Arab Emirates, Iran, and Pakistan. It connects the shallow Arabian Gulf to the northwest to the deeper, cooler Arabian Sea further south. In this underwater paradise, conditions are now favorable for the brief but intense breeding season of one extraordinary magician, the cuttlefish. Cuttlefish are members of the cephalopod family, which also includes octopus and squid. All of these highly intelligent mollusks have 3 hearts, 8 arms, and the largest brains of any living invertebrate. Cephalopods are notorious masters of disguise. They can change their appearance to match their surroundings and escape detection. These magicians are also able to alter their body patterns and color to put on quite a show. The breeding season in the Gulf is the cuttlefish's chance to really show off. These are Pharaoh cuttlefish. The larger of this pair is the male. He can grow 42 centimeters long and weigh up to 5 kilos. His stocky oval body, called a mantle, and his frilled fin edge are similar to that of his close relative, the squid. Like many other cephalopods, cuttlefish can change color, but they have taken it to extreme levels. Their skin is covered in tiny, color-changing cells called chromatophores. This cuttlefish has a staggering 200 of these color-changing cells per square millimeter of skin. These cells enable it to make these sophisticated changes in color, tone, and pattern. A large male shadows a smaller female as she swims around the reef. As he detects they have company, he boosts his pattern and flashes dark spots as a warning. This female is his. He follows her closely. Raising his 8 arms at her doesn't appear to attract her attention. In a split second, he flexes tiny muscles under his skin to make it stand up. These projections are called papillae. They help him blend into the coral. But cuttlefish also use them during these courtship displays. The female can perform the same tricks to also mimic the coral. The male's efforts still draw no response. He raises his game, splaying his tentacle arms in an attention-grabbing display. Still nothing. He switches his color off. Finally, she responds. Their arms entwine as they lock in a face-to-face embrace. The male uses a special arm called a hectocotylus to transfer sperm directly into a cavity near the female's mouth. His top 2 arms drape over her head as he holds onto her. Cuttlefish can stay locked together like this for up to 7 minutes at a time. If the male can retain her interest and protect her from other males, they will mate again. This love match is not over yet. Not all cephalopods like to stand out when it comes to mating. Sometimes it's better to keep a low profile. This creature has a disappearing trick. The dark shape of a day octopus can barely be seen in this coral crevice. Without a skeleton, this contortionist can squeeze itself into extremely tight places. Only an eye gives him away. Day octopuses tend to breed year-round, but this one has good reason to avoid attention for now. Mating can spell disaster for males. Female octopuses can cannibalize their partners once they've mated. If a female comes looking, this male's vanishing act rehearsal may just save his life. Like the octopus, another of the reef's magicians also breathes year-round. He can also make himself invisible. The seahorse. This master of disguise blends perfectly against the coral wall, surrounded by colorful sea fans. This is a great seahorse, one of only 2 species found in these enchanting Arabian waters. Seahorses are famous for the male's role during the breeding season. When she's ready, the female deposits her eggs in his distinct brood patch, the smooth area seen here on the front of his body. He fertilizes the eggs inside his pouch and carries them for up to 4 weeks as they develop. Then he gives birth. He's anchored to a sea fan by a prehensile tail, but he's ready to find a new spot. He swims upright, using his dorsal fin to propel him forward. This fin can beat 70 times a second, the same as a hummingbird's wings. Tiny pectoral fins behind his gills enable him to steer and maintain stability, even against the strong sea current. Seahorses don't swim well, so they don't move often. In his new location, the male simply floats horizontally, moving in rhythm with the current. A passing predator may be tricked into seeing it as just another piece of coral hanging off the reef. Above the reef, an enormous school of small fish creates the illusion of a large, impenetrable mass. But their trick doesn't guarantee their safety. These silver sides are important prey for sharks. They also face attack from above. The Damaniyat Islands lie 15 kilometers off the coast of Oman. Sooty gulls and terns use them to rest on and hunt from. They take aim, trying to pluck out individuals disguised in the mesmerizing blur. The fish move as one, away from the surface to avoid the danger. Back on the reef, having established his territory and found a mate, the male cuttlefish tones down his elaborate displays. For now. The stakes are high. Cuttlefish, like all cephalopods, get just one season to pass on their genes. In just a few weeks, those that mate will die. This pair makes the most of their one chance in life to breed. Newly matched pairs mate repeatedly during their short time together. The female will fertilize her eggs with the sperm passed to her from the male. Females can delay fertilization for several days after mating. But this one is ready to lay immediately. She tightens her arms up into a fist-like shape to create a chamber near her mouth. Here, she breaks open the stored spermatophores to fertilize her eggs. The male is eager to mate again. But the female spurns his colorful advances. She's looking for a suitable rock or coral crevice to tuck her eggs into. it must be deep enough to hide them away from hungry predators. She deposits each tiny egg individually into the crevice as she flutters her long fin more rapidly to control her movement. Cuttlefish control their buoyancy through a porous internal shell called a cuttle bone. The pores in the bone enable the animal to adjust the volume of air and water inside its body, thereby changing its weight and position in the water. The male switches his collar off as he makes another play for her attention, but she is on her own mission to lay more eggs. He has to settle for keeping a protective eye on her, a behavior known as mate guarding. He can't risk another male stealing his partner. He must ensure that she has only his sperm to fertilize her eggs. For now, they are alone in their Arabian Reef romance. But pheromones released from their eggs will soon attract other mature cuttlefish into a mass spawning event, increasing their chances of survival. In Arabian waters, the closest relative to the cuttlefish is the reef squid. The two have plenty in common. The same shaped mantle with its magical, color-changing abilities. The long, fringing fin along its body. Large eyes, and the same bilateral symmetry, or mirror image, of left and right side. This one is known as a big fin reef squid, for rather obvious reasons. These inquisitive magicians are common in these waters and are extremely agile. Like the octopus and the cuttlefish, squid change color and mostly swim backwards. They do this using jet propulsion. The squid contracts the muscles in its mantle to force water through a funnel known as a hyponome. The squid adjusts the position of the funnel, located between the head and the mantle, to change direction. The faster the contraction, the faster the squid can escape danger. Unlike the cuttlefish, squid do not have an internal bone to control their buoyancy. Instead, they manipulate the molecular composition of their body fluids. In slow motion, they become even more mesmerizing. Some squid perform elaborate dances when attracting a mate. But the big fin reef squid are more subtle. If two are interested in each other, they may swim together side by side. This male squid is on guard. Beneath him, a female lays their eggs. But they have company. A second male loiters nearby. He may try and mate with the female. The guarding male quickly signals his annoyance by rapidly changing color. It's enough to halt the intruder in his tracks. He turns the color on by contracting his chromatophore muscles and relaxes them to turn it off. This lack of color causes his mantle and arms to turn white. The intruder keeps his distance, but doesn't give up. Remarkably, the male is also able to flash different colors on different sides of his body. He shows brown to the female to signal everything is fine, but flashes silver to intruders to say, keep away. This is known as silver lateral display. Pulsing dark blotches on his arms and a stripe down his back reinforce the warning, I will defend my mate. It's enough to drive his rival away. Bold patterns, especially stripes, serve as a warning in many animals. Deadly sea snakes commonly have banded patterns to communicate danger. But this is no serpent. It's another illusionist. A harmless banded snake eel masquerading as a toxic sea snake. The eel has a dorsal fin, but a real sea snake does not. This clever deception is known as Batesian mimicry. It allows the eel to trick predators into believing it's more deadly than it is, allowing it to move confidently around the reef as it hunts for small fish and crustaceans. The cuttlefish couple has company. They're in the midst of their breeding cycle, but an intruder is shadowing their every move. The male produces dark stripes on his mantle to warn off the rival male. His opponent may be smaller, but darkening his own stripes signals his intention to get involved. The male raises his arms to intimidate his rival. As his mate prepares to lay more eggs. Females can and will mate with more than one male, then select whose sperm to use. This phenomenon is known as cryptic female choice. The male must ensure she doesn't mate with anyone else. He turns on his rival. He then conjures up his own silver lateral display. Bold warning stripes to the right, calmer, sandy brown to the left to reassure the female. He mustn't let her slip out into the arms of his rival. The intruder may be outsized and outstriped, but he's not about to give up. As the female finishes laying, her protector makes his move. He outmaneuvers his rival. But the little guy is ready. He touches the larger male. This is an uncommon provocation. The bigger male sucks water into his body and stretches his arms even wider to appear much bigger. If he can win this contest through visual display alone, he may avoid a potentially damaging fight. The smaller rival backs away. But he's not done yet. The standoff lasts several more minutes before the rival eventually concedes defeat. The male has won the right to keep his mate. His dark head signals his victory. Despite the dazzling displays, remarkably, cuttlefish and squid are almost certainly color blind. Recent scientific research suggests that light-sensitive proteins in their skin may help them sense their multicolored world without actually seeing it. The high contrast of colors may be enough. The female squid seeks a safe place to finish laying her eggs. It will be tough getting past the sea urchins hiding in this crevice. Many species of squid simply release their eggs into the water, as most fish do. But, like cuttlefish, these big fin reef squid seek to protect theirs in coral crevices. Once their first batch of laying is complete, the pair simply vanishes into the blue. Squid and cuttlefish can both live at depths of more than 90 meters. Down there, color is less important, as only blue light penetrates these depths. During the breeding season, they spend more time in the dazzling shallow reef waters around the Demaniad Islands. But shallow waters bring shallow water predators. Black-spotted butterfly fish are opportunists. Cuttlefish eggs are a nutritious treat if they can reach them in the tight coral crevices. The cuttlefish does nothing to protect her eggs from the long-snouted predator. The mouth on the end then sucks out a hidden egg. A damselfish vacuums up the leftovers. The female cuttlefish hasn't chosen the best of hiding places. The gaps between the algae-coated branches expose the cluster of translucent white egg sacs, which need 14 days to develop and hatch. The persistent butterfly fish goes back for more, but another quickly snatches the egg, resulting in an underwater tug-of-war. All the cuttlefish can do is lay again. There are at least 16 species of butterfly fish in Arabian waters. Black spotteds are the most common in the Gulf of Oman. But they are outshone by their dazzling relative, the Arabian butterfly fish. They mate for life. Despite their bright color, these conspicuous fish are also masters of illusion. Their dark tails are mirrored with dark vertical eye bands. Predators look for eyes to target their attacks. Striking the head is a more effective kill than biting a tail. If a predator can't see the eyes, it's hard to know what to aim for, and it may attack the wrong end, giving the butterfly fish a chance to escape. Fish are the primary prey of the cuttlefish. Here, one prowls the reef in search of a meal. This ambush predator becomes almost invisible in its preferred hunting ground, the sea floor. A cuttlefish fires out two long tentacles lined with suckers from beneath its arms to catch prey. A shoal of fusiliers provides plenty of opportunity. The fusilier's best defense is safety in numbers. Some fish form schools, meaning they swim in the same direction, maintain an equal distance between them, and move as one. But other species form shoals, a looser group where the fish do not coordinate their movements. Fusiliers do both. When hunting, they will school, but more commonly, they shoal in large numbers for safety. Their twists and turns make it hard for the cuttlefish to focus on an individual. But this master of disguise bides its time. It appears to assess its strike range, adjust its position, color, and texture. Success. Its tentacles have suckered a fusilier. Its arms hold the fish in position and slowly direct it into its mouth. The cuttlefish devours its prey, using a hard beak buried at the base of its arms and a flesh-scraping tongue. It's rare to witness a cuttlefish take its prey. These magicians more commonly hunt in these shallows under the cover of darkness. Octopuses will also grab fish swimming above them. A dark, almost invisible head protrudes just above the coral hideout. A spine cheek hovers unwittingly above him. The octopus remains perfectly still as a large grouper points to the lurking predator. But it's too big to be at risk. Smaller chromis dart overhead, oblivious to the potential danger beneath them. Now you see him, now you don't. The octopus is back in his den with only an eye visible. One chromis brushes its tail against the octopus as it attempts to court a female nearby. This kind of mistake could prove fatal, but octopuses usually prefer slower moving prey, like crustaceans, or even a great seahorse. Like the octopus, the seahorse is an ambush predator. It can capture a staggering 90% of its targeted prey when sea conditions are calm. Its long snout and wide mouth enable it to suck up tiny crustaceans. This is a female. Once her eggs are with the male, she plays no further role in raising their young. She's not feeding, but she opens and closes her mouth to pump oxygenated water in and push carbon dioxide out through gills behind her eyes. Her best trick is the ability to move each orbital eye independently, giving her the power of almost 360-degree vision. Her bony exoskeleton has protruding appendages known as cirri, which add to her coral-like camouflage. A fine coating of algae completes the look, giving the seahorse a protective cloak of near invisibility against a passing predatory moray eel. A female hawksbill turtle is also out hunting. She appears to know exactly what she's looking for. Sea turtles have good eyesight underwater, but they also have an acute sense of smell for detecting prey. Hawksbills most commonly eat sponges in these waters, but at this time of year, there's a different protein treasure to find. She arrives at a large clump of coral and immediately works her magic. Her sharp, hawk-like beak is exceptionally strong. Presto, cuttlefish eggs. The eggs are in small clusters, making them easily removable. Wrasse and damselfish are ready to grab any leftovers. She uses her flippers to gain purchase as she tears the eggs from the coral. These eggs are more developed than the butterfly fish's earlier snack. The turtle can no longer reach the rest of the treasure. The eggs were a good meal for both the turtle and the hungry fish, but enough remain intact under the coral to hatch. As summer begins to tighten its grip on the Gulf, temperatures above and below water are rising. It's now June. The cuttlefish breeding season is well underway, and competition is getting fierce. Time is running out. Across the reef, pheromones released from the cuttlefish eggs and drifting on the sea currents entice others to start their once-in-a-lifetime chance to breed. Couples pair up and establish bonds for their own brief encounters. The waters are teeming with protective males with bold blue stripes, each closely guarding a female who could ensure his genetic legacy. In amongst the melee of large characters, smaller males try to get in on the action. These so-called sneaker males have a few tricks of their own to play. Sneaker males tone down their color to create the illusion of being female to get past the bolder, protective males. Having already successfully seen off his rivals, the male cuttlefish and his mate now have trouble of a different kind. It seems the egg-laying pair has strayed into the territory of a damselfish, and he's not about to tolerate their presence on his patch. Damselfish are notorious for taking on intruders no matter how big or how many there are. His best line of defense is attack. The cuttlefish may struggle to magic himself out of this tricky situation. And now there's double trouble. A sneaker male loiters nearby. if the sneaker male can take advantage of the damselfish distraction. He might be able to inseminate the female right under the tentacles of the big male. The big male can't shake the damselfish. The sneaker makes his move. Now the male is alert to the danger. The sneaker male wasn't sneaky enough. By keeping others at bay, the bigger male ensures his partner lays her last eggs, carrying only his genes. Across the reef, males and females mate and lay eggs in the dying days of the short but intense breeding season. A cuttlebone is all that remains of one adult cuttlefish, evidence of what will become of this year's mated couples. Females each lay approximately 1,600 eggs during a spawning season. Some will fall prey to predators, but enough will survive to ensure the next generation of these extraordinary magicians of the reef.
Hey Love Nature fans, be sure to like and subscribe to catch all our wild animal stories. Get closer to nature right here on YouTube.